Hey everybody, Steven here, GearStuffandThings, back with another video. Thanks to the fine folks at Zounds, that's ZOUNDS.com. If you know about the internets, you know how .coms work. Do whatever you want to do with the .coms, .nets, .XXXs. Hey, anything you want to do on the internet, you can do, but if there's anything I would encourage you to do, it's checking out Zounds.com. That's the end of that commercial. Anyway, we're going to talk about this right here, which is one of two S-types from the fine folks over at Schecter. Schecter is absolutely killing it with their QC work and just making some of the best guitars on the planet. It's not debatable. I'm sorry if you think it is. I've tried a lot of them, a lot of current competition. They aren't even coming close. Let's talk about these amazing S-type guitars. And S-type, it means Strat. Look, we've talked about lawsuits in the past, and I'm not interested in being a part of one. So S-type refers to Strat, Stratocaster, no less. But we're not talking about the F word that makes guitars that are called Strats. We're talking about the S word, Schecter, not and they make the best stuff. And we're going to start out by talking about this right here, which is the SunValley Super Shredder Exotic HT. That was a lot to say, and I did have to read it in real time. Feel all of the embarrassment and shame for and with me. This is an incredible guitar, to say the least. I mean, exotic. I mean, what other guitar out there has the word exotic in it? Well, there's like 3 others that Schecter makes that have it. Either way, the exotic in this instance refers to the wood. I'm going to put it over here on one of my 3 cameras. And yeah, so that's the exotic wood. I'll also do some cool B-roll of it as well. This is what they call black limba, which is a fairly heavy, dense, colorful, and interesting wood. Lots of interesting grain, lots of tonal variety as far as the color of the wood itself. This is a bolt-on construction with this guitar, so 4-pin bolt-on. It has some great access though for upper range. There's a nice carve there. I'll put it on this camera as well, a nice carve. Lots of easy access if you're someone who wants to shred, and this guitar absolutely is built to shred. We have lumen-lay side dots on our neck, which we're about to get into here in just a minute, because that neck is made of winge, vinga. It's made of that really expensive, nice, dense, dark wood. It's got lovely pores and just feels really nice against your hand. It has kind of the roasted maple feel. It's got these cool circle inlays, which I'll do some lovely B-roll of. Very cool, really unique feature set. We've got our truss rod adjustment at the base of the neck, easy access. And that's what you need in life, easy access to things that you can change. Change is the spice of life, and that's how you get your grocery cart over at Aldi, unless you got a key that you jam in there. Look, it's gonna get weird. It's always weird if I'm doing it. There's 3 cameras happening, which is weird, but thanks to the fine folks here on the other end of this camera buying some things over at Zounds, I was able to do some upgrades. So thank you. You're amazing. It's been really exciting to get new stuff and add it to make the channel even better for you. But that's not what you're here for. You're here to hear more about these guitars. And this right here, this one right here, true-way adjustable truss rod, carbon fiber reinforcement on this neck. We've got locking tuning keys, an all-around amazing beast of an instrument. For our hardware, we're rocking hip shot on the bridge. This is the IBBY bridge, so it's actually an Ibanez type bridge that's designed to replace the Gibraltar bridges on Ibanez products. But some recent developments have happened in the guitar world where this has become pretty commonplace on some other products out there, including the newest ESP, which is the Mick Thompson, has the same bridge. You're in the same territory here, a nice high mass brass bridge, very bright, very punchy, really articulate in the low end. And you're gonna hear that in the demo here in just a second, along with these pickups. And let me tell you, the pickups, chef's kiss right on the they're amazing. They're amazing. And look, we got a sunset strip right up in here in the neck. Sunset strip. They name everything after California stuff.
In California.
Sunset strip in the neck, very nice, well-rounded, plenty of low end, also a really nice top end. It doesn't get too muddy. Very great. You're going to hear that in the demo as well. This right here, Pasadena Plus. Now you've heard the Pasadena Plus here on the channel because it's been in some other Schecter guitars I've reviewed, and it's a great sounding pickup. Zero complaints. And lastly, before we get into anything else, because I definitely forgot, this is a Tusk nut. So high-end specs on a high-end beast of a guitar. This one starts at $12.99. Not cheap, but it's worth it because it's cool. It plays like a monster. Out of the box, I didn't have to do anything to it. It was just ready to go. Well, look, you caught me in a lie. You caught me. I had to tune it. Had to bring it up to pitch. What, who would have even thought of that? Make your guitar in tune, then you can play it. So this guitar, brought up to pitch, feels, sounds, looks amazing. You probably don't believe me on how it sounds, but let's listen to it. All right, everybody, back with another one, and this one is a doozy. I actually like this one a little more than the last one. I know it's exotic. I know it's special. I know it was hard for someone to source those super exotic, erotic woods. Sometimes words just happen. Either way, I like this one a little bit more, and I'm going to tell you why. It's not pigeonholed. It doesn't feel trapped within itself. The other one, beautiful guitar, wonderful, but it feels like a rock, a metal machine. I hate saying that out loud. You've heard me say it in previous videos, and it still feels gross. That's my ick. Calling something a metal machine. I used a word that I don't like. Ick. I feel like maybe I need to start being a nurse and hanging out on TikTok, and I can talk about my ick while not taking care of patients. Either way, moving along. We're going to talk about this right here. This is the Nick Johnston Schecter. HSS stands for humbucker. Single. That's right. 2 singles, twice the single, double the fun. It's a gum commercial, kind of, but it's also a guitar. Anyway, so we got an alder body. I'm going to show it to you here on the camera. That is a nice looking alder body. Look at that beautiful son of a... That is a beautiful, beautiful guitar. Anyway, we are dealing with 22 jumbo frets. They so jumbo as it gets, and we're dealing with an ebony fretboard. I'm going to show some B-roll. Ebony fretboard. We got those cool circle inlays. These are all in the normal position, not offset like the other one. It's whatever. It's still beautiful. Very thin C shape, very thin. This feels more like a shredder guitar, but as far as the neck goes, but on a really traditional body. And I think that's the goal here with this one, is to bridge the gap between modern and vintage vibes, that classic feel and vibe of an S-type mixed with some modern specs. So we've got 3 pickups in this jam, as I already covered. This is the 78 from Schecter. It's designed to sound like your classic PAF. Right here, this is a Nick Johnston single. This is a Nick Johnston single. I don't know what that means other than they're single coils. They sound great. They're real bright, but they also have a nice stratty sound going. If that does anything for you. We have these lovely locking tuners from the fine folks over at Schecter. We've got a Tusk nut, all of the high-end specs. We got this bridge right here, which is the Diamond Vintage Tremolo. This is made by Schecter. It feels quite similar to a Wilkinson bridge. I don't use the wiggle stick, at least not this one. so that's not there, but there is a nice wiggle stick you can screw in there, and then you can wiggle the strings about. But I don't have that in there. We've got a 5-way position switch, lots of tonal variety you will hear also within the demo. And that's pretty much it. It's your straight to the point, bare bones, but not bare bones somehow. Just a classic aesthetic with some modern features, with those locking tuners. Got this nice thin neck that is ebony, just amazing stuff. And got the truss rod access, the bass, getting into places real easy, making changes real easy. Setting a pup like this up is no challenge, none at all, especially when you open up the box. And because the QC from the company you're dealing with is so amazing and consistent, you didn't have to do anything. You just tuned the guitar up to pitch, and then you made this playthrough video. And we're back to wrap this jam up. And just in summation, got to talk about both of these guitars. The SunValley SSHT, that super shredder hardtail, if you didn't pick up on that. There are a few things that I actually forgot to mention on this, and one thing I didn't even notice until after I'd already filmed the video. So the one thing I didn't mention, 5-way position switch, which does give you a ton of tonal variety, just like the other instrument. And with the added addition that I somehow missed of the push-pull pot, you have single coil tones in this instrument as well. So you could have any variety of sounds and tones at your disposal from this instrument. Excellent pickups in this guitar. Most of the stuff coming out of Schecter's pickup, factory or whatever you want to call it. I guess factory would be the appropriate word. I'm not sure why I questioned that. Either way, they're making great stuff, hand-wound pickups, and they all sound great. That Pasadena Plus is an amazing pickup. I've had it in a few guitars. I actually installed one in a build recently as well, and I'm just really happy with it. It's a great sounding pickup. They are killing it over there at Schecter, not to mention all the lovely QC stuff. Some really shining points of interest, I think, on the Black Limba instrument here is that each one is going to be slightly different than another one, because it's not the same cut of wood. It's not a laminate or anything. It's an actual piece of wood or a few pieces of wood that have been glued together, but they're all different. They all have a different vibe and a different identity. They're gonna have knots and spots in different places. The color patterns are gonna be different for each one of them. And I think that's really cool because every instrument's gonna have its own unique identity and character. Yeah, it'll look slightly like another one, but it's not the same in that, like, if you have two guitars that are Daphne Blue, that are the same model, they're going to be pretty hard to tell the difference between. With these, there might be some fairly obvious differences that are quite stark. In contrast, that may actually lead you to, being excited about the fact that you have an instrument unlike anyone else's. Even if they have the same model as you, it's not going to look the same. They also do offer this in another color as well, another type of wood, which only adds to the unique character of it. I had mentioned previously that I felt like this guitar was a bit pigeonholed into the rock and metal world, just in that it's a humbucker setup with two humbuckers, and it's got that Ibanez bridge, which is more synonymous with the metal world these days. And I'd say with the added addition of discovering the push-pull pot and forgetting to mention the 5-way switch, maybe I was wrong. And it's okay to be wrong. I've admitted to being wrong here on the channel many times, and this won't be the last. Yeah, I was probably wrong. There's probably all kinds of tonal versatility that I didn't even get into on this video in relation to that instrument. because I just was unaware of the push-pull thing, but that's my fault for not reading further into it. Either way, you could use this for anything from jazz, country, all the way to the darkest and blackest of metal, and it would be just fine. And on this one, I'm bringing back the teapot scale, if only to satisfy one person in the comment section, Mr. Cody, and I'm going to give this one 4 out of 5 pots of tea, cups of tea, teapots. 2, 3, 4. There it is, 4. You got 4. And moving on to the Nick Johnston. It goes without saying that this guitar, in my opinion, is the perfect mix of vintage and modern spec. It has all the aesthetic qualities of what you'd expect from a classic S-Type, but it also has all the appointments of a modern S-Type. And it's kind of a happy medium between both worlds, which is really awesome. So if you're someone who is a new player that's wanting to get into, rock, or you want to go into the Corey Wong territory, or maybe you want to do John Mayer type of things, cool. If you're someone who's been playing a while and you're in like a cover band, or you're really into the blues world, like Stevie Ray Vaughan type of stuff, this is also going to be a great instrument for you. But if you're someone who just wants to do a little bit of everything, you can still do it. You could play metal on this instrument. You could do the same thing with the other instrument, but I feel like this one just has more of a classic aesthetic, but it is not limited by, just having Strat pickups in it. Granted, they do make a version of this that just has the three single coils that are, Strat type. But this is not that. For $849, getting a roasted maple neck with an ebony fretboard, truss rod access at the heel, having locking tuners, having the Tusk nut from Graphtec, amazing hand wire pickups from the fine folks at Schecter USA. Don't skimp on Schecter's pickups. I know I've said it before. I'll say it again. Schecter makes amazing pickups. And a lot of people don't even think about it, but I've actually ordered pickups from Schecter to put in other guitars. They're fantastic, fantastic pickups. They really do a great job at nailing whatever it is they say they're going to nail. If it's the Pasadena, you're going to get all of the modern high gain stuff, but also a lot of hard rock territory tones. No real effort involved there. Going with something like the 78, you're going to get into those classic PAF vibes, and nothing wrong with that. All of that to say, for the price on this instrument, you're not going to find anything that is contemporary to it from another manufacturer that even comes close to hitting some of the spec points. Now, you might find a company that is offering a guitar similar to it with one of those high-end specs, but you're not going to find one offering all of those high-end specs. So that's something to take into consideration. And when it comes to the teapot scale or the teacup scale, here on this one, I'm giving it 4 out of 5 as well. Doesn't come with a hard shell case. It came with a hard shell case, 5 all day. That's usually where the thumb comes in, is when there's a hard shell case or at least a decent gig bag involved. Neither of these guitars come with cases. So 1, 2, 3, 4. We got 4. 4. You can drink yourself 4 cups of tea while you think about how amazing this guitar is, and potentially purchase it because it's significantly cheaper than anything that any other company out there makes that even comes close to the spec set. I know you heard mentioned throughout the video that there was a third camera, and there was, but it wasn't in focus. So that's why you don't see the third camera angle. I did use that same camera though to shoot some of the B-roll, so technically it's there. Either way, this has been a fun one. I've got to say thank you to all of you yet again. Nothing but endless gratitude and appreciation to each and every one of you who has came here and watched the channel, along with those of you who have purchased things through the affiliate links or bought any of the preset packs, that sort of thing. Your contributions have helped me add an additional camera, which has been fantastic. And it's allowing me a secondary angle now, so it's going to make these videos a little more immersive. And I couldn't have done that without all of you and your kindness. So thank you. And I've got to say thank you to the fine folks over at Zounds, Billy, Dan, all of you lovely human beings that are supporting this channel and allowing me to make the types of fun videos and, do the creative things that I want to be doing with this channel. So thank you so much. And until next time, it's been me. It's been you. This is Gear Stuff and Things, In the background of this video, you will find subtle hints to what some of the future videos will be. We'll see if you figure it out.